What is going on, you guys? I hope you're all having an embraceful day. If you guys ended up watching the last video of me trying to figure out what was wrong with the TC with it vibrating, we came to the conclusion that it was the CV axle. The driver's side CV axle the boot ended up breaking. So today I went to go pick up a new CV axle for the driver's side. So we're going to be installing this new CV axle. It's from Autozone, it's Duralast, lifetime warranty, so I'm not really worrying about it too much. But also just a disclaimer, I've never changed out or swapped out a CV axle before on any car. This will be my first time actually swapping out the CV axle, so it's gonna be an interesting experience to say the least. So everything that you guys see me do, I mean, you guys can go ahead and do it. I'm gonna try my best of my ability to kind of show you guys any mistakes that I make or try and guide you guys the right way in order for you guys to change your guys' CV axle if you guys end up breaking one. So we're gonna get started with today's video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna break the axle nut that's right here. So you usually have a cover that goes right here, so you just take off the cover and the axle nut will be right there. So you gotta take that off. It's kind of pinched right here because you have to pinch it. That way the axle nut doesn't loosen, so hopefully it's not that hard to take off. I am using a 1 3/16 socket, as you guys can tell right there. This is right there, 1 3/16 socket. It's a 12-point socket and with the breaker bar. So we're gonna try and break that loose. Also gonna be using another little bar just to kind of get a little bit more leverage, because the longer it is, the more leverage you have. So let's try and take or kind of loosen this axle nut. Now that we got it loose, I'm gonna go get the jack and we're gonna jack up the car. Now we got it jacked up. You're gonna make sure you put your jack stands there. We're gonna put another one back here. Since we already have the axle nut already loosened, we can already take off the wheel. We're not gonna be needed it on anymore. Now we're gonna remove the remaining of the axle nut. Since I don't have anyone helping me right now, I'm just gonna put a crowbar right here, because the whole brake assembly, it's gonna keep wanting to rotate, so that's gonna stop it from rotating if you put a crowbar right there. So let's take off the remaining of the axle nut. And there's your axle nut. But if you do have somebody to help you out, just tell them to step on the brake. That way your front brakes completely lock up and your whole rotor doesn't spin. That way you're allowed to take off the axle nut that way. If not, you don't have anyone, like I said, use a crowbar, put it right there, wedge it against the floor and the studs. Now, since I'm pretty sure this is the first axle that's being changed out on this car, since the previous owner had it, I'm gonna spray it down with some PB Blaster and just pour it in there while we unbolt the lower control arm. The 3 bolts are on the lower control arm. So put some PB Blaster, just hopefully makes it a lot easier. So now we're gonna loosen these 3 nuts that are right here that are holding the lower control arm to the ball joint of the whole spindle and whatnot. So we're gonna remove those 3. Now we got the 2 nuts and the 1 bolt that's on there. We're gonna pry the lower control arm away from that ball joint. Now that you got the whole lower control arm disassembled, you're able to push it out of the way, which is what we want. But we also have to push the axle where the axle nut was, the whole axle end of this point, in. That way that separates from the whole hub assembly, the whole brake assembly. So we're gonna put the nut, where is it at? The nut back on. and then we're gonna hit it with the rubber mallet and try to push it out. So that's getting pushed in, and we'll be able to take it out. So let me just take out the nut. Hit it a couple more times. And then we need to get this pushed out. So let me try and sit you guys down. So I kind of rigged this up right now. I just got a whole bunch of straps. I strapped the whole brake assembly all the way, tied it to right here, this pillar, just so I can get this whole thing to shift a little bit, so I can get the whole axle on this side out. That way I don't have to be pushing this out like a whole bunch of times. It's already pushed out, it's already tied down. I don't have to worry about that. So we're gonna get that axle out. Once we get it out from here, you can pull the whole entire axle out. It's just held in inside by the gears. Basically the only thing holding it in is this axle nut. And this axle nut that goes right here, it's keeping it into place. So let's get the axle out from this whole entire brake assembly stuff, and we'll be able to pull it out. You know what? I think I'm also gonna get rid of this cover that's right here, because it's kind of in the way. So we're gonna get this cover out, but we did get the whole axle out from this whole entire end. As you guys can tell, it's already out right here. So I'm gonna remove this cover shield because it's kind of in the way. All right, here we go. The moment of truth. Let's get this axle out of here. Holy, yeah. Look at it. It's broken. Look at that, it got detached from the boot side. So we're gonna have to try and pry that out. So this is what it's supposed to look like. This is what mine came out like. Look at that, it's missing this whole section that's right here. So we're gonna have to try and pry it out with the crowbar. So let's get back down there. Let's try and get this pried out. I think once we pry it out, there's gonna be a whole bunch of gear oil coming out. So you gotta get ready, get a bucket ready. That way it pours on there, or get some cardboard on the bottom. That way it doesn't get your floor dirty, the cement dirty. So now we gotta try and get this out. So try using a crowbar. Pretty hard. Let's try it the other way.
Six hours later.
So I finally got it, and I'm thinking I got it because the oil's starting to come out, the transmission oil. Freaking tired, dude. This thing took forever. I mean, it's still in there, so I'm gonna pull it out right now. I'm thinking it's out finally because, like I said, it's starting to drain. So, whew, freaking lost my breath, man. Took forever. I had to buy a new crowbar, and I had to like sharpen it like super sharp, and I'll show you guys once I take it out. I'll show you guys what I did, but I'm gonna finally take it out right now because I think it's ready to be taken out. Or maybe I should just wait for it to drain, because it's draining pretty good. It took forever. Freaking happy. It seriously was the hardest thing to do. Time to pull it out. Yes. Yes. Finally. Finally. So this seriously took like so long. So I'm gonna show you guys what I did. So this is a side that goes inside the transmission, and this is the side. It had this little coupling on it, and what I did was I pried it out, and it showed like these little indentations all around. And I was still having no luck. I was using that crowbar, that right there, it's a medium one, and I still wasn't having any luck. And then I got the Dremel, and I started engraving it even more. That way the crowbar can hook up a lot better. So I went to go buy a new crowbar, and I sharpened it as well. And with that, Dremeling it out right there, so it makes it the groove a lot deeper, I was able to pull it out. and it took forever, but I mean, I got it out. I finally got it out. I'm just gonna wait for it to drain completely. That way I can give it a good clean, good wipe down, because it is freaking disgusting down there still. Also, I forgot to mention, I used vice grips just to clamp it on there, and I had a better grip, so I was able to wiggle it out instead of just getting your hand in there in a tight little small section and trying to wiggle it like that. It's easier to use a vice clamp, so you can like wiggle it, shake it, pull it up and down. Makes it a lot easier too. Alright, so now we're gonna put the axle back inside. Just try not to get the end to touch anything. Just make it try and go all the way smooth all the way in, and try and get the CV axle to engage with the gears. So I'm gonna get it in there. I can hear that it's engaging, so just try moving it back and forth. Once you get it back and forth, get a rubber mallet, try and keep it as straight as possible, the CV axle, so it goes straight in. Just hit it a couple times. There we go, it's in. One way to find out if your axle is correctly engaged, you give it a good turn, and it should be spinning the other side, the other wheel and tire on the other side. Now that we got the axle figured out, that it's correctly put into place, now we're going to put it back inside the spindle. Just going to clean it a little bit, make sure it's not dirty. Alright, so it's in there. We can loosen the straps. We should be good to remove the straps. And then we just gotta seat it in. As I was hammering with the rubber mallet to try and get it in, do not do that. Do not hit it with the rubber mallet just to get the whole entire axle in through the whole brake assembly, because since it does have grooves on it right here that hooks onto the whole hub assembly, you don't want to strip any of those. So just, it should go in by hand. As you guys can tell right here, I took it back out since it wasn't going in, and I pushed it in by hand. It was super easy, super simple. It was super easy to push in, so you do not need any force to get it in. Now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna put the nut just right on top, right there, simple. And then we're gonna connect the lower control arm, and then we'll go back to the CV axle nut to tighten that one down. These screws and nuts that are down here, you're gonna want to torque them down to, it was 66 pounds of torque. So that's what we're gonna do. Now we're just on the last steps. Well, actually, last step is just tightening up this nut. I don't have a torque wrench big enough for that. This is a torque wrench that I have. It's only enough for like smaller size, smaller type sockets. This one is like a humongous damn socket, and this is the only one that I have for it to fit inside that CV axle nut. So I'm just gonna tighten it as hard as I can with this one right here. So I ended up switching out the axle nut. I switched it out for the other one because the other one wasn't a 12 point, and that's the only type of socket that I have. So this, I reused this OEM one, and it still fit pretty good. So we switched that out, and I want to show you guys where I stuck the crowbar. That way you guys don't struggle as much either. I stuck it in between right here, the arm. That's right here. You have a decent amount of space right here to play with. So that's where I put it up. I wedged it into the edge where I dremeled it to be deeper. I edged it out, and right there stuck the crowbar, the small crowbar, and I just was able to pull it out. So that's where I recommend that you take it out from, because as you guys saw in the video, I tried pulling it out from right here and it wasn't really working until I got underneath. That's where I kind of it kind of helped me out a lot better. So I got everything completely done. It's all ready to get put back together, the wheel back on the car. But before I do that, I do want to change, well, we have to add a little bit of about 1.5 cords that we lost when we took out the axle. We got to add 1.5 cords, but might as well. I bought everything I needed in order to do a fluid change. As you guys can tell right here, I mean, it still looks a little, has a still tint of red, so my transmission fluid isn't really that bad. But since I do kind of sort of beat on it, I do want to change it out right now. Might as well that I'm currently doing it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a separate video regarding the fluid change, how to change the fluids of your transmission. So we're gonna skip past all the transmission fluid change, and I'll see you guys once we're done with that. So I got the transmission fluid all changed down already, and we're gonna go for a drive. See, hopefully the CV axle fixes the problem. I'm hoping it does, that way I don't have to worry about it anymore. So let's go out for a drive. Let's finally see if the CV axle fixed it. Highway, get to 65. Wait, whoa. What the heck? I'm only going 20. So I felt the shake right now, but I'm only going 20. 20? What? What? I don't get it. I don't get it. I wasn't feeling when I was going 20 before. How come I'm feeling it now? Let's see. Oh yeah. What the heck? Why am I feeling it now? I didn't used to feel it when, before I changed out the CV axle. I wasn't feeling the low miles per hour from 20 to 30. Now I'm feeling it. That's weird. Did I put something wrong? What the heck, man? Everything else seems to be fine. Just that 20 to 30. Let's see the freaking 65. 60 to 65. Let's see if it starts shaking. Find out the true test right now. Let's see why it shaked at 20. Yeah, why is it shaking? It's shaking to 20 to 30. I don't understand why it's shaking. See, I'm about to hit the highway right now. I'm gonna be going to 65. See if it shakes at the 65, because I don't know why it's shaking at the 20 to 30. See, like it shook right there. 20 up to the 30. It's like 25. It starts shaking. It's not shaking yet. I'm at 60 and I don't feel anything. I'm at 65. Step on it some more. Then I'm at 70. I don't feel anything. I don't feel the shakes anymore. But why am I feeling it at 20 and 30? I'm trying to step in it some more. Yeah, I don't feel any shakes. I don't know why. I don't know why it's shaking. It's only shaking from 20 to 30 now. But it's not shaking anymore from 60 to 65. You would usually start feeling it once it hits 55, but I mean, I'm driving casually right now. I'm going 65, and I'm not feeling any vibrations at all. So I don't know what the heck is going on. I don't know if I installed something backwards that it made going 20 to 30 vibrate, or I don't know. Here, we're gonna find out again right now. Let's bust the UE. Tune for decelerating. Yeah, it's vibrating. I like 25, it starts vibrating. So 20 to 30, it's vibrating. I don't know why. I don't freaking know why. But it doesn't vibrate at the 60. I'm at 60 right now, and I don't feel anything at all. That's weird. That's freaking weird. So I just got back from the drive, and I don't know what's the issue. It's now vibrating when you're accelerating from 20 to 30 miles per hour. It starts vibrating like how it used to vibrate when it was going 60 to 65. It's the same type of vibrate, not as harsh as that, but you do feel a decent amount of vibrate going 20 to 30 miles per hour. But it doesn't shake anymore when it's going 60 to 65. You started feeling when it was going to 55. You started feeling it a little bit. Maybe I can kind of compare when I was going 55, like starting to accelerate. That small vibration is kind of what I'm feeling when I'm going 20 to 30. So I don't know what the issue is now. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you guys. But for now, that's where I'm gonna end today's video. I mean, I wish I could have fixed it. I wish I could have finished it today, but I don't know. I mean, at least we got the CV axle changed out, but I guess we'll have to see what else we'll have to do. I'm thinking maybe we'll have to jack up the car, leave the 2 front wheels up, turn on the car, put it on drive, and let the wheels spin and see if we can figure out what the issue is. So maybe I'll make another video trying to figure out again what another issue might be that might cause the car to vibrate. I might go get the wheels balanced, because maybe that is the issue. I'm gonna check right now if the front tire, the driver's side, has camber, and see if it has positive camber, because maybe that could be the issue as well. But I don't know, there's so many issues that it could be. But that's where I'm gonna end today's video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Peace out and embrace yourself.